Hello, my name is Count Lovenstein, and I am going to do a playthrough of a audio implementation I did in a simple first-person shooter game. I should probably mention first of all the FPS micro game or something it's called. I got the game code from the Unity Asset Store, and you can, if you so desire, keep downloading modules and build it into a proper good game with multiple levels and bosses and all that. And it's free, or it certainly was at the time I did it, which is pretty cool. I only made one level with very rough textures and stuff because I only really wanted it for doing the sound implementation. Anyway, let's get into that.
Roger. Stand by.
So that voice on the radio is actually mine. I do the voiceover for the main character dude, who basically the player. A bit of radio static and filtering on it, just to give it that kind of AM radio effect. Now the pulse width modulation in the background, I actually put that in because if computers were going to speak to each other, or communicate with each other rather, by audio, that is how they would do it, with the pulse width modulated binary. That's how it worked in the old days when you loaded stuff that was modulated onto tapes. I actually got that sound from an old copy of Finders Keepers that I had for the Commodore Plus 4. Anyone who's in their 40s now will remember those Mastertronic games. They were really cool. There was a whole range of them for £1.99. That was a really cool one. And I just played it on an old personal stereo and into the sound card of the PC. Now let's have a look around. So, this wee mini here, my girlfriend at the time, and we are actually still close friends. She did the voiceovers for the wee minis. A lot of it is nicked from South Park and the Evil Dead 3 and stuff like that. There's a kind of a homage. I'll see if we can get close to this guy. That as the turrets wake up, that is actually the ignition sequence of my gas boiler. And the boom and the spin down, that's a vertically weird sound. The boom comes from a party popper which I recorded and then pitch shifted down a few semitones, and the spin down was one of the effects in FL Studio. A nice cool picture of a ringed planet up there, quite like the scenery. Now we're on some kind of volcanic hellhole of a planet here, so to get a somewhat unnatural atmospheric kind of feel for this. I used a sample that I got off the internet that was recorded by the Venera probes on Venus. I recorded some audio of the Venusian wind and they beamed it back. So yeah, that was just to give it wind that was kind of unearthly sounding. As a matter of fact, it sounds very similar to wind on Earth. The bullets are just wee. I can't even actually remember what I recorded for them. Can't remember whether I recorded something I found or whether I just made that sound with a synth. But then the game code as the gun's firing constantly plays the sound and repeat. So what I did was put a modulation on it, so none of the two bullets, bolts, whatever they are, sound precisely the same as each other. It's not a huge difference so you would notice, but it's enough that it gives a subconsciously more satisfying effect. I actually did the same with the footsteps. So again, I only actually recorded maybe a dozen footsteps at the most, but the modulation means that they're never quite identical to each other. So it's not just like a repeating whoop. The sound when the gun, when it overheats and then cools again. There, I got that by heating a screwdriver until the metal was glowing red, and then plunging it into freezing cold water. Did that with a gas pump in the kitchen, which came in quite useful. The gun kinda getting cocked sound, that was actually one of these plastic toy guns that fires bits of foam. I get that from. Now let's see. There's a wee glitch with my level design that means some of the wee minis can actually pass through walls, but I was not too concerned about that because I was only doing this for the audio implementation. It was actually for a university project when I was doing my audio engineering. That sound of me putting the jetpack on, that was just literally a recording of me putting on a rucksack and then fastening the wee clip. And the sound of the jetpack, that is a recording of the gas bulb again. and it's pitch shift down a few semitones to make it a bit deeper. Now we've got a disc launcher. So the spin up sound is actually my washing machine, and then it's played through a wobulator, which is a audio device that responds to changes in voltage, if I remember rightly. It was actually used as a testing kit in the old days, but the boffins at the BBC Radiophonic Workshop found that it was also excellent for making weird sounds for Doctor Who episodes. So if I can play this here for it. That was the shattering sound was just me smashing a plate. I can't remember whether I smashed it with a hammer or something, and I could have cut off the main transient at the start of it. That I believe was synthetically generated using a synth. Some of them by memory slightly vague, and there's the shotgun. There's a lot of vertical layering going on there, with kind of basso sounding things and things with a big transient to get. I really wanted the shotgun to kind of give you a kick in the arse when it's played over decent speakers with a good bass response. No, that sound for let's do that again. So that was basically a stick breaking, and it coincides with a kind of red flash that simulating pain. There's that sound when you hear the shot hitting the turret. That was made just with a handful of coins, and then you chop it into little staccato strips. Oh shit. That sound of the medicine getting taken, that was literally just me taking a long drink of iron brew or something. Like that. But most of these sounds are actually vertically wired. They're not just made out of one audio clip for the most part. It's trying to make a very thick, dense soundscape. Not least because that was where one gained marks. If I had just done one sound for one effect, I would have gotten 40% pass for the module, but obviously that's not what one wants. You can actually, if you're lucky, you can get the wee minis to shoot each other. The actual gameplay itself is very much just like 3D version of a mock in the Vic-20. You can see where I've done some very sketchy work there. Those textures are overlapping, that's why it's flickering like that.
Organic plant shells being eliminated.
The music as well, that was done with vertical layers, so you can bring bits in and out. It was done with vertical layers and horizontal sections, so you can flip it from one to another and you can bring stuff in and out at will with wee sliders in the mod. I'll maybe do a video on that at some point. Same thing with the enemy's gun, also modulated the gun turrets, bolts or whatever it is, they fire bullets, whatever. This is very lazy gaming from me here. I'm just shooting these wee bastards now so that I don't have to tangle with them later. Whoa! Again, when the wee flying turrets get shot, there's multiple layering of the sound there, vertical layers, so that the kind of smashing sound is also layered with a spin down. My idea there was the spin down with our anti-gravity units kind of spinning down and packing in. They'll wake up. Here we go. And you can see these turrets are so daft, they're actually shooting each other and doing my work for me. Whoa! Let's not get killed. Right, I'm going to find some medicine. I need to watch where I'm jumping here. I do not want to jump into midair. This is a floating platform that I'm on and there's nothing but a big infinite drop underneath it. Actually, if I can get up higher, that is a really cool picture of Pluto and Charon, Pluto's moon. It was taken by a space probe that went there in 2015. It turned out it was a much more interesting object than people had anticipated. pretty interesting geology on it. No, there's the sound I'm waiting to hear here. It's that. So again, that was my kind of idea of how robots might talk to each other using audio signals. I did that using this. You can it's just a wee ribbon synth with 2 voltage controlled oscillators and this other control in the middle that lets you modulate them. Then you've got cutoff and frequency. And these things are very cheap. Korg make them. It's meant to be the smallest synth in the world. And they only cost you about 30 quid or something like that. And I think there's this one more wee mini that we need to kill here.
What a day.
And that, what a day. That was nicked from Crude Busters, which was an arcade game of the 1990s. They had it in the local arcade where I live. I used to quite like it, although not as much as Double Dragon. Double Dragon and Golden Axe were my 2 favourites. Anyway, that is 24 minutes and probably long enough.